everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to go and talk about some very non-traditional career tips, and this is something I've kind of learnt and picked up throughout the years, but no one's really taught me all of this. It's something that I kind of had to learn, and because it's quite non-traditional, it'll be good if you guys can just take it with a pinch of salt. Let's get into the video. Okay. So my first tip is to not let anyone decide how long you should be in a role for, because at the beginning of my career I was kind of told that, you know, the 2-year mark, or 2.5 years is the right amount of time to be in a role, and then you'll start looking for another role, maybe within the same company. I think this is such bad advice, because say for example, if you've been doing a finance analyst role and you've been doing 2 years in one company, and then you move to another company and then you've done another 2 years there, and then say if you found another finance analyst role again, you should be kind of looking to step up or maybe gain some other experience. You shouldn't be trying to replicate that particular role over again in different companies. It doesn't give you the growth, and it won't push you to advance either. So even if you have done 6 to 12 months within the company or within a role, I think that is fine, as long as you can explain why you've moved and the fact that you wanted to advance and want a different perspective in terms of experience and also in terms of career. The second tip that I want to give is to not let anyone hold you back. And what I mean is, people within the workplace and obviously in your personal life are going to give you a lot of advice. I only learn to take advice from people that are in positions that I want to be in. So a lot of friends and family and my work colleagues, they're not in a position that I want to be in 10 years. So why is it that I should take advice from them? It just doesn't make sense, right? Because if I took advice from them, it just means that I am limiting my growth in what they've achieved and what they've done, which does sound quite harsh in a sense, but sometimes you just have to push more, and sometimes you have to think about not the next step, but also 10 steps ahead, because if you're just planning one step at a time, you don't have like a long-term goal. It's very difficult to then make sure that you're going in the right direction if you're just going, okay, what's the next step, and what's the next step, and then what's the next step every single time. These things might change, so what you need to do is kind of have a long-term goal, and don't let anyone say you can't do this role, or you can't do this, or you don't have enough experience, or you have too much experience, or all of these things, because these are reasons that people use to reject you or make you feel bad about yourself, or push you down. And that's fine, because it's their kind of limitations on themselves. That's their ceiling, right, in their mind. However, you should think about, if you didn't have those barriers, the world is your oyster, kind of you want to do stuff that someone else hasn't done. If that's your mindset, then use it. Look at people not necessarily in your immediate friendship circle or social circle or work circle, but look at people within the world, kind of online influencers or celebrities or whoever you want to use as someone you look up to. Listen to the podcast, you read their books, or look at their LinkedIn posts, for example. Just watch their YouTube videos, look at stuff that they've done and look at stuff that they're saying, because it's so key. If you're taking advice from someone who is in a position that you want to be in 10 years time or however long, then you're learning from that person who's been there and done it. You're not learning from a person who hasn't done anything or hasn't achieved anything in their life, So that's my tip number 2. Don't let anyone's opinion affect you who's in a position that you don't want to be in. Yeah. So tip number 3 is take every opportunity, but with the risk. There are some jobs, for example, that I've been in that I've completely hated or not enjoyed But prior to that, when I took the role, I thought it would be completely different to what it was. And it's great for me to have had that experience, but thinking about it, sometimes, you have to take the opportunity. If it doesn't work out, you can always find something else. And that's okay. You don't always have to think, okay, I've taken this opportunity, it hasn't worked out, that's the end. Because it isn't. There's just so many opportunities out there, whether you're going into another job, you're starting your own business, you're starting a blog or YouTube videos or whatever you want to do. There's just so much opportunities out there that if one thing doesn't work and if one thing doesn't feel right to you, then trust that and try and find something else, and try and find something that actually fulfills you, because life is so short. You don't want to be doing something for the sake of doing something. That, for me, you only kind of learn from being in a position you just don't want to be in, because you understand how it feels to kind of go to work and you can't get out of bed, you want the day to end, you're looking forward to the weekends, you hate Mondays. All of these things are a combination of probably you hating what you're doing. You need to find enjoyment in that. If you're stuck in that position as well, what you need to do is also try and find the little things that would motivate you, or I kind of don't believe in motivation, so find the little things that would push you every single day. For example, say if you had a really bad boss, or if you thought that she was really controlling, but look on the bright side, maybe just learn from her and take the opportunity and take the actual time that you have spent with her to go, okay, well, she's got to this level, what is it that she's doing well that I could replicate, and what is it that kind of people see in her and that people have praised in her that you think, okay, wow, like something that I can pick up. You're in that position and you're in where you are in life to be able to take as much out of it. So even if you're, for example, stuck in a position where you don't want to be at the moment, try and make the most of it and try and do what you can to learn what you can from it. The next point that I want to make is not to follow money, because you should be following the experience that you want to get. Don't look at salaries, or don't look at what you're getting paid, because obviously there are companies and industries that pay really well, and there are companies and industries that don't pay well, and that's obviously because of the margins, etc. Say for example, if you're selling a car, the margins in selling cars might not be as high as the margins in selling technology. So you just need to think about, what is it that you want, especially earlier on in your career. What is it that you want experience in? Once you've learned that experience, you can take that and go, okay, I have that now, that's mine. You can then, leverage that to ask for more money, for example. The very beginning of the career, sometimes, or jobs, if you're looking at jobs, companies might pay you more to try and attract you into the company, but it doesn't necessarily mean that is right for you. If it's a job that either you completely hate and someone like paid you lots of money to do it, you probably wouldn't even want to do it. And there are some jobs which you think, okay, wow, they're not paying me that much, but I love this and I want to go to work every single day. I wake up beaming and I wake up being like, okay, this is such a great opportunity. I get to go to shows or go to events that would really make me enjoy what I'm doing. That is just really key. So have a think about, what is it that in work that you like? Focus on those things and make sure that when you're signing up for a new role, for example, you are 100% sure that it's something that you want to do and you're not doing it just for the money. But remember that money is important, because obviously inflation is going up, bills are going up. You need to be able to support yourself. You want to be able to save for the future, invest, etc., or do whatever you want to do with your money. So money is very important. If you are getting underpaid, if it's not within the market rate, etc., you need to be able to have those conversations. Either ask for more money or be prepared to leave a role or leave a company that you love if they're not compensating you for what you're worth, because your time's really important. The more you stick around kind of at that low salary within the marketplace, the more you kind of be stuck there. You won't have advance at all in your package. Number 5 is know your worth. So sometimes you might think, okay, I look at a job spec or I look at other people and I've not got as much experience as them, and that's completely fine. But you need to look at the role that you're doing. You need to make sure that you're compensated for what you're doing, not for your experience. If someone thought you weren't experienced enough, they wouldn't be offering you the role. They wouldn't want you on the team. So the fact that they've given you the opportunity or the offer, but they've not given you a salary to go with that role, I would push back and say, no, it's a very stressful role. I'm going to be doing X, Y, Z, and the market rate of someone like this is going for this. I appreciate the offer, but you need to compensate me for my worth, and you need to pay me for the actual role that I'm doing. Doesn't matter what your previous salary was. It doesn't matter kind of what the company budget is what the actual role is. Some roles are kind of really underpaid because companies can think that they can get away with paying a lower level salary for really senior high pressure role. People would work for that company for that role, but you need to think about, okay, what is it that you would work for and be happy with, what the market rate is. This is why there's probably like £20,000 within a whole banding. Some people will take the lower banding and think, oh great, I'm getting the experience, I'm getting the exposure, and then other people are like, no, I know what this role entails and I need to make sure that I'm getting compensated for my time, so I need to be on the upper end. And other times I've had situations where I've had multiple offers. A company's offered me more than they've advertised because they wanted to attract me to that role. It doesn't matter what's on paper, it matters also how you negotiate as well, and that's something you kind of have to learn. It's not just about your pay, you can kind of negotiate different things with the package. For example, you can negotiate kind of expenses, you can negotiate extra time off if you wanted, you can negotiate loads of different things. Put things on the table that you want to try and bargain for. Say, I need this to make this work. What can you do for me? And so that's just something which you'll have to learn. You don't have to always take the first offer that comes to you, because a lot of the time the first offer is not always the best offer. Don't push back and forth too much trying to negotiate and they've said no once. Don't keep pushing and go, no, I need this and I need that. Ask for stuff that you think you deserve, or you've researched and other people, you've seen other people get it and you go, okay, well, can I have this? Speak to your friends about it. Ask them what they're earning or what their friends are earning, so you kind of have a feel of what people are earning. These are things, the non-traditional career tips, which I think if someone would have told me this at the beginning of my career, I would have been so grateful, because I had to learn this the hard way, had to learn it through my mistakes, had to learn it through friends telling me this, or some of the things which I think everyone should have been given the handbook for in life, but you live and learn. So yeah, hope you have enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more tips on kind of careers, businesses, and also finances. Hope you have a good day. I'll speak to you later. Bye.